Another episode of the 152 show. I'm here with my boy, co host, Funkybanks. We are about to go over some final X predictions. Who's going to represent United States at the World Championships? How you feeling, my brother?
I'm feeling good. I'm real excited to watch the wrestling. Next to the NCAA tournament, this is probably the biggest event of the year, so should be good wrestling. The card set, it's gonna be awesome.
All right, sounds good. So let's get right into it. All right, so at 57 kilograms, we have Luke Little. I can never pronounce this guy's names.
Lightning Luke, just say
Little,
that.
Lightning Luke versus Spencer Lee. So I'll go first. I got Luke. I got Luke in three. I got Luke in three. Little. What you got?
I got Spencer in two, but
Woo!
I think that I respect your prediction a lot. Yeah.
Um, I mean, listen, honestly, I know that, in their match, Little won, right? He had that last second headlock. Spencer Lee is obviously the veteran here, right? Second in the Olympics. Much more experienced wrestler, but I don't know. I just feel like the trajectory right now, Luke just winning a NCAA title. He has the win over Spencer Lee in their meetup. I feel like just that's going to give him a little bit of extra confidence, and he's riding this wave of the NCAA title. And I said it in three because Spencer Lee's really good. It's not easy to beat him in two, right? So that's why I said in three. So why do you think it's going to be Spencer in two?
I mean, listen, man. Spencer Lee's been cold. He lost that RAF. He's lost. He didn't medal at the World last year. But
Uh,
watching their match at the Open, right? Like Spencer was up and then he got headlocked at the end. Luke won on a really far Hail Mary. So I feel
mm-hmm,
like if Spencer goes out there and just wrestles his best and finds a way not to get headlocked, I think he's got it. I think he's good. But Luke, he's really hot. And Luke's super good at freestyle. He's the only person in any country to be in the world finals all 4 years of high school. Um, saying him in three, that's the farthest thing from like a crazy prediction. But I got Spencer in two just because I think he's
Spencer.
better and I think he could go out there and wrestle his best twice and not get headlocked. I think he's got it.
Okay. All right, bro. Sounds good. All right, moving on. 61 kilograms. We got the young boys here. Marcus Blaze versus Jax Forrest. So I got Forrest in two. I got Forrest in two. What you got?
That makes two of us. I also got Forrest in two. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, Jax Forrest, man. I mean, he proved himself. He won that NCAA bracket with basically everybody there. Really good at freestyle. He already made it to the World Championships. Was this close to medaling, and yeah, I just feel like he's the guy. I think he's got Blaze's number, and I think he's got it in two.
Yeah, no, this is a big matchup of offense versus defense, right? Jax Forrest goes out there and scrambles, and he's an amazing scrambler, and he can go at it with anybody. But Marcus
Mm-hmm.
Blaze, he's the kind of guy who doesn't get taken down all too often, just because he's so solid just with his defense. So it's going to
Mm-hmm.
come down to who's got does Jax have better offense or does Marcus Blaze have better defense? I think that Jax, I think that he's in the gym with David Taylor and them. They're cooking up a game plan, but that goes both ways, right? Marcus
Mm-hmm.
Blaze's coaches, Nittany Lion Wrestling Club. You know, he's
The,
gonna
the
be
best in the
prepared.
world, up there with the
Yeah.
best in the world. So
Nah, these two gonna be scrapping for real though.
yeah, no, that's a fact. Yeah, I think going back to what you said, that it's a battle of who has, Jax Forrest's offense versus Blaze's defense. I feel like Forrest creates chaos in every match. I feel like no matter what, he always ends up getting into a scramble. Something happens. He's really good at that. So I think when stuff is moving, when it's a fast match, that favors Forrest, and he has a knack for just taking it there. So
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
all right, yeah, both of us, Jax Forrest and two. All right, 65 kilograms. Interesting matchup right here. We got an older guy versus a really young guy. Real Woods versus Bo Bassett. I really had trouble on this one personally on like, what I wanted to, decide. But I got Real Woods in three.
I got Bo Bassett in two.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. You know what? Bo Bassett right now, it's similar to Luke, to Lillard, all that. He just has this momentum right now. You know what I mean? Bo Bassett. He's just, you know, he took out Valencia. He won that bracket, the US Open. Um, he's wrestling with a lot of passion right now. You know what I mean? Bo Bassett. Um, I chose Woods in three because I just feel like Woods is the type of guy that if there's one guy that can match Bo Bassett's like toughness, I think it's real Woods, right? Because Bo Bassett, he typically wins a lot of his matches like kind of roughhousing you a little bit. You know what I mean? Or that he's got
Yeah,
that
he's
crazy
mean.
hand fighting. He's got
Yeah.
that even though he's going to Virginia Tech, um, he has like that kind of Iowa style in a sense, but Real Woods, he gets tough back. He gets gritty. He's not a guy that, you get a little gritty with him, you throw a jab. You best believe Real Woods is going to throw a jab back. So that's why I said three. But what you got? Why do you say Bassett in two?
I got Baston in two because just watching his run at the Open, right? Jesse Mendez, I think I'm really high on him, right? Joey McKenna beat Jesse Mendez in the semis. Bo Bassett faces Joey McKenna in the finals, and he just teched him like flat out. Last year at Final X, Real Woods had to beat Joey McKenna in two really tight matches to win.
Mm-hmm,
Um,
mm-hmm,
Bo Bassett, it wasn't that kind of tech fall where it's like throughout the match he gets a takedown and like 45 seconds later he gets another one, and then a minute after that. It
mm-hmm,
was the kind of tech fall where it's like he takes him down, they go out of bounds, Bo Bassett's in his stance while McKenna's still walking to the center. Whistle
mm-hmm,
blows, Bo Bassett's already in on his leg. I think
mm-hmm,
that he's just firing from all cylinders right now. I believe he would have won an NCAA title at 149 pounds as well had he wrestled at the tournament, but he
mm-hmm.
couldn't because he was in high school.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm gonna just go Bo Bassett. I think his pace is just breakneck, and I think yeah, I think he's just he has the momentum right now.
He does. No, he definitely does have the momentum. Like I said, this one was really hard for me. I guess I said Woods in three just off of the experience factor. But even though Bo Bassett is really young, he's really experienced himself. He wrestles in all these tournaments. He's wrestling college guys, winning, beating them, teching them, like you said. So we'll see what happens. That one's gonna be dope. All right, moving on. 70 kilograms. Ridge Lovett versus Zane Rutherford. I got the Zane train in two. Zane train in two. What you got?
I also got Zane training too, man. It's just so hard to predict against him at this weight class. He's going to be the
Yeah,
favorite in every single matchup at that weight, other than maybe
yeah,
PJ Duke.
yeah. I just 70 kilograms is one of those weights that I just feel like there's nobody there that I really see giving Rutherford, a challenge like that. Um, Rutherford's really good, man. He's really, really
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Crazy pace, great offense. He's seasoned. He's a veteran, at this point. It's crazy just for me to call these guys old now because, when I was coming up, Rutherford was, I was watching when he was young. So it's crazy for me to say now, oh, he's a veteran. But yeah, you know what though? But Rich Lovett is tricky though. He's a guy that, he does unconventional and unorthodox stuff. Um, he's the type of guy that'll get back exposure on you. You get in on a shot, you know, he'll lock in the crotch and take you over. He's also, good with gut wrenches and, that stuff is tricky. It's hard to beat, but I just feel like Rutherford, his fundamentals are so tight and so good that he don't really break position often, and he doesn't give people a chance to even do those types of things. But if Rich Lovett somehow finds a way to do that, it's he could win a match, he could take it, but I got to go in two.
Looking at all the matches, this would be the biggest like I'm the most confident in Zayn winning this series. I think that you watch him with Henson. Henson just did not have an answer. Ridge and Henson, they wrestled in the trial in the finals of the Open. They both had
Crazy
a lot of
match.
answers for each other. It was an
Yeah,
amazing wrestling match. But then
yeah.
when Henson goes and faces Zayn, it's like there's nothing you can do, man. It's Zayn,
Nothing you could do.
So it's
Yeah.
it's not Ridge's time right now, in my opinion. But
Hmm.
I'm gonna go with Zayn.
Yeah. Zane and two. We both got Zane and two. Zane train. All right, 74 kilograms. I like this one right here. Two amazing athletes. Similar wrestlers, I would say. James Green versus David Carr. So I got David Carr in two. I got David Carr in two, man. What you got?
I got James Green in three.
James Green. I like that. I like that prediction. I do. Um, yeah, both of these guys, they're very similar wrestlers. They like to wrestle from space. A lot of double legs, a lot of reshots, a lot of athleticism and speed. Um, Green is definitely the veteran here. You know what I mean? He's how many times did he place bronze? Twice in the world, I
Right.
believe.
Two, three, maybe four times.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
he's a multiple time,
Yeah. Nice try.
bronze medalist. But I don't know. I got the young boy. David Curry's fresh out of college. Whatever last couple of years. I like him. I feel like I loved his match against the Japanese guy, not too long ago, where he won that match. Who was the Japanese the Japanese dude that he beat? He beat
Takatani.
Takatani.
That guy beat Kyle Dake in the Olympic semis.
Yes, yeah, he beat
Yeah.
Takatani. I love that match. I just feel like David Carr has been a little bit more active lately as well. You know what I'm saying? He's been everywhere doing the RAF, wrestling in these matches, where he wrestled Takatani. He's been doing the international tournaments. So I got him in two because I'm favoring the activity and the young energy. But James Green is definitely the more, he has more accolades than David Carr internationally so far. So why do you got Green and you said Green and three, right?
Yeah, I said Green
Yeah.
three, and I think momentum is on Green's side in my opinion at the Open, right? This was like almost the most human we've seen David Carr look in a very long time. He
Yes.
lost to Cam Amin, great wrestler, Oklahoma State. He was never in the NCAA finals or nothing like that though. And
Mm-hmm.
then he lost to Joe Seeley. Think about that. Joe Seeley is the third string guy on his team, and he beat David Carr. David Carr lost to him. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
James Green won that weight class at the Open. And
Mm-hmm.
then, Carr made the senior team. He beat a really tough Jaden James, who, that kid's gonna be good. But
Yeah.
he beat a really tough Jaden James. It was a close match, but again, that's like a really young guy, inexperienced guy. And he only
Mm-hmm.
beat him by like 1 point. James Green won that open weight. I think he's feeling himself. I think he's feeling good. I think Carr's gonna get a win out on him, but this one could go either way. I'm gonna go James Green in three though.
Okay, James Green in three. I said Carr in two. Okay, moving along. Wow, this was one of my favorites right here. 79 kilograms. We got Levi Haynes versus Chance Marsteller. This was another one that was really tough for me to make a prediction on. But I got Levi Haynes in three.
I got
What you
Levi
got?
Haynes in three also. I was
Okay.
going back and forth on it, but I think Levi, coming off a world silver medal last year, and I don't think he's lost a match since then. I think he's
Mhm.
the Levi train is rolling right now.
Yeah, yeah. Levi Haynes, I mean, these guys are both, I feel like they're very evenly matched. You know what I mean? Marsteller is, you know, really, really good in his own right. He's only gotten better after college. You know what I'm saying? Um, beating Jordan Burroughs. Um, he's been the guy a couple of times at this weight already. But Levi Haynes, I'm going with the young energy and also, the world silver medal. He looked good at the NCAAs. I just feel like it's on his side, and I can see Marcelo, winning a match with the experience, international, doing, being the guy at the weight already. So that's why I said in three.
Yeah, no, a lot of the same points as you. We both have the same prediction. I think Levi's got Nittany Lion behind him. I think that Levi's got international momentum behind him. He's got NCAA momentum behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Listen, can I see a scenario where Chance wins this series? Yeah, but I'm gonna go with Levi. I think that Levi is in the right position to win this series.
Yep. Okay. I'm with you on that. 86 kilograms. This was another monster matchup right here. Sahid Valencia versus Kyle Dake. Woo! Man. All right. New York is gonna hate me for this one. I got Zaid in three. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I got Zahid in two.
You guys are eating
I
too.
wanted to say three, but I went with two.
Okay. We're not allowed in New York no more, lovely. Yeah, I mean, listen, honestly, um, I just feel like Zaid right now, he was behind, Dake and David Taylor and all these guys for a while, but I feel like it's his time now. He looked when he won that world title, he looked unbeatable, right? Didn't even give up a point. That was an incredible run by Zaid Valencia. Now he did take a couple of losses, right? After he won that world title, he looked human again. But I believe that if Zaid is that version that he was when he won that world title, Dake won't beat him.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I also think that David Taylor being his coach is a big really helps him out a lot in this situation. David Taylor knows Kyle Dake's wrestling real well. They've trained together a lot. They've wrestled each other,
Yeah,
plenty of times. They have,
plenty of times.
yeah, just know each other inside out. So I think that David Taylor training Zahid for Kyle Dake, that
Mm-hmm.
gives him the ultimate advantage.
Yep, yep. So you said, wow, Zaid in two. I said in three. I gave Dake a match, but yeah, we both got Zaid there. All right, 92 kilograms. You want to explain what the situation is with Hidley and Machiavello?
Yeah, so 92 was supposed to be Trent Hidlay versus Mike Machiavello. They are going to do the match at a different date though because it's Trent Hidlay's wedding weekend. And yeah, USA Wrestling granted them the permission. This isn't something that's happening for the first time at Final X. It's happened before plenty of times where they just
Mm,
find another date for that series, but that
mm.
will be at a later date to be determined.
To be determined. So we'll forego that one for now. Um, moving on to 97 kilograms. We got this is a good matchup right here.
It's a
Kyle
good one.
Snyder versus Buchanan. Um, I got Stephen Buchanan in three.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I got Buchanan in three. Obviously Kyle Snyder, one of the most decorated wrestlers of all time, from United States. Um, but Buchanan right now just looks really good. He's got this young energy and momentum on his side. Um, I know he won an
He won, I don't
international.
know the name of the tournament. It was a really tough international tournament.
He
And he
beat
had
a
to
world
face
champion, right?
Yazdani.
Yeah,
He had to
Yazdani.
face Yazdani in the finals and he teched him. And
Yeah,
Yazdani
teched
hasn't been
him.
teched since like I don't know if he's ever been teched.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably David Taylor is the only person who's ever been able to, pin him or, I know Taylor did pin him one time, I believe. Just
Yeah.
Donnie.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I just got Buchanan, man. He just, he's got that young energy. He's looking good. Beat a Yazdani, international success. Yeah, I got him in three. I mean, I gave Snyder a match just based off of experience. He's obviously, like I said, he's one of the most decorated wrestlers of all time, from United States. So, he's been the guy. When you think of 97 kilograms, you think of Kyle Snyder. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, like that's the first
For the
person
past 10 years. He won
for
his
the
Olympic
past 10
title
years.
10 years ago.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
when you think of that way, you think of Kyle Snyder. So that's why I gave him a match. But I just feel like there's really a shift going on right now with the older wrestlers. I think it's really just it's time for a new group of guys, you know. And this is probably now that I'm looking at this over again, this might be the youngest Final X I've ever seen. Honestly, I mean, we got a whole bunch of, we got a couple of high schooler, freshmen in college. You know what I'm saying? Like this is just
Yeah,
a really young group.
I don't know if there's ever been two rising sophomores in college
Yeah, I
wrestling at
mean,
Final X. I don't know if
yeah,
that's
just
happened
young
before.
guys. A lot of guys,
Yeah.
who are fresh out of college. This is a really young group here. So I just
Jaden
yeah,
James was that close and he's a high school senior.
yeah. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
this is insane. So all right, so yeah, I got Buchanan in three. You said Buchanan in
I said Buchanan in three, and yeah, I think that he's international momentum on his side. I think that Kyle Snyder though, could definitely win the series. This isn't Buchanan's the heavy favorite. Buchanan's the
No,
underdog.
for
He's the
sure.
underdog for sure. But he's just looking good. Kyle Snyder is just not that guy he used to be, where it's like he goes to the World Championships, you know he's going to be in the finals. That kind of
Hmm.
stage of his career is past. I kind of look at this a little bit like Jordan Burroughs and Chance Marsteller when they wrestled at Final X and Chance beat him, and it was
Yeah,
like kind of like a passing of the torch. Like Jordan Burroughs' time as that guy is like coming
yeah,
to an end. I think that yeah, Buchanan, I'm getting those vibes.
yeah. And I'm not even mad at that. I like Buchanan as the guy at 97. I like
Yeah.
him there. I think he's somebody that could really be a force to be reckoned with at this weight for a long time. So yeah, I like Buchanan at 97. All right. Last week, the big boys, heavyweights, 125 kilograms. Wyatt Hendrickson versus Mason Paris. Um, honestly, this weight makes me so upset because I know that the best guy in the world is not wrestling at this weight. So it just 125 kilograms just pisses me off, because I know Gable Stevenson should be wrestling here, but whatever. He's not here, so this is what we got. I got Mason Paris in 3. What you got?
I got Wyatt in too.
Yeah, Wyatt in 2.
Yeah.
I don't love this weight for United
Toss up.
States. Yeah, it's a toss up. I mean, Paris he took bronze, right? He snuck in there 1 year, I believe.
Yeah, that's how he qualified for the Olympics. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
he snuck in at that. That's really where I got it from. I'm like, you know,
Wyatt went last year, did a medal. Paris is a former medalist.
yeah,
I get that.
I went
Yeah.
with Paris just over the medal. Like I said, I mean, you know, out of every weight here, this is the weight that I'm probably least excited about, honestly. Just off of like, the matchup just doesn't give me, that yeah, like I want to see it. I could easily turn it off after 97 and be okay. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna watch it, but yeah, I went for Paris in 3. I gave Hendrickson one match because he is a good wrestler. He beat Gable Stevenson. He's an NCAA champion, so I could see him taking a match. These guys are really, honestly, pretty evenly matched in my opinion. But yeah, I gave the edge to Paris just off of um, the world medal.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Wyatt just because, I'm a big fan of David Taylor as a coach. I think that those guys are always going to be prepared. Not saying Cliff Keen Wrestling Club isn't. That's one of the best international clubs for sure. I just
Mm-hmm.
think Wyatt, again, man, I'm not like super confident in it, but I just think that Wyatt's gonna get the edge on him twice. I saw Mason Paris lose to a high schooler at the Open. Not that that's a bad thing, but I just think that Wyatt,
That's normal nowadays,
yeah,
bro.
no,
For
exactly, yeah.
real.
Yeah,
But
I'm just gonna go Wyatt. I'm not gonna I don't have too much to back it up, but that's just my pick.
all right, so you want to explain to the people this point system that you created, a little competition between me and you,
Yeah.
for the follow-up episode?
Yeah, so we did our prediction of who's gonna win it, and we did the match count. If you get the winner correct, that's a point. And then if
Okay.
you get the match count correct as well as the winner, that's a bonus point. So at the end of it,
Okay.
we're gonna tally it all up and we're gonna see who wins and you tell the viewers what the
The
loser gets.
loser owes a 50 clip, 50 push-ups, make it
Yeah.
a little fun. Me, wrestler, now doing calisthenics. I always find a way to get that in there, but a wrestler, former wrestler, we always got a 50 clip in the bag. So um that's gonna be exciting. That'll be the follow-up. Final X Team USA 152 episode. I'm looking forward to watching this, the Final X. And after that we'll come back and we'll tally up the score, talk about the matches, and loser has to do 50 push-ups on the screen. So we'll see what happens, man. I think you owe 50. I think you're gonna be owing 50 push-ups, bro.
Yeah, I don't know about that. We'll see.
All
Yeah.
right. Peace.
Wrestling gang, what up?